We're hearing that President Biden is going to pardon those convicted of simple marijuana possession under federal law, ordering as well a sweeping review of the drug's treatment by law enforcement authorities. This is all according to a senior administration official. And then, of course, also looking to urge governors to issue similar pardons for state offenses that involve marijuana. But for now, looking to pardon everyone convicted of simple marijuana possession under federal law. Interestingly enough, I want to bring in our very own Mathieu now, because you have canopy growth, you have Tilray surging 15, even 20% on this news.
Yeah, this is a big deal, and it's the latest in a string of announcements from this administration that are tied to making good on promises made during the campaign. This is something that Joe Biden, the candidate, talked about. And if you remember, if we back the charts up to before the election, just his getting the nomination actually started to send marijuana cannabis stocks higher, because there was a thought that there might be a move to legalize on the federal level. That's not what this is, but it's seen as a major first step in terms of not only pardoning, but also rescheduling. That's another reason why you're seeing the stocks move here. Rescheduling cannabis from what they call a Schedule 1, which puts it on par with heroin, essentially. If that was brought to a lesser degree, it would allow for more research, more opportunities for medical uses, and so on. So this reaction is basically what you would expect.
Joe, I might be very wrong here, but also, this is a helping of the labor market as well. This is ensuring that people aren't sort of got a black mark against their name if they have indeed used marijuana on a recreational basis. That's
absolutely right, and frequently on a disproportionate basis with communities of color. This is part of the equity approach that the administration talked about before coming into the White House, and making good on that now following the announcement on student debt forgiveness and some of the others that are coming a little late in the game and close to the midterm elections. It's probably not a coincidence, but this has come up for months and months in the White House briefing room by reporters asking when and why hasn't the president done anything on this yet, since he promised to, and here we are talking about it today.
We gave you a cool 30 seconds to review this before we dragged you on set, but I am curious if off the top of the head you can just sort of think and provide some context for us. So providing federal pardon, but then also urging governors for state offenses to do the same. Do we know sort of the proportion of convictions on a federal versus a state level? Does this move the needle if it's only federal offenses versus what individual governors now can or maybe won't do on the other side of that?
It's a great question. Certainly, I would suspect that there are more on the state level. I haven't seen those numbers. But if this is going to become a campaign issue, and Republicans will likely be quick to criticize the president on this. They accused him of buying votes with the student debt forgiveness plan. They'll accuse him of trying to get liberals high so they vote Democrat in November. But at the same time, red states have actually had, in many cases, a lot of luck with medicinal marijuana, with taxing sales of marijuana. And when you consider the libertarian edge of this current Republican Party, that might be tough for Republican candidates to argue against.